The following episode of It's Real Wrestling Podcast contains disturbing materials that may be inappropriate for young viewers. Parental discretion is advised.
And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker.
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Goose, and how you doing today, Sage Mark? Well, I hope you're doing real well.
Yeah, dude, I ain't got nothing right today, dude. I messed up the intro on YouTube. I had myself on mute. It's just been such a crazy week. I don't know what's going on. My camera is off. Like,
What's a busy week?
Live. We know we're doing this live.
It's a scatterbrained week. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I've been super tired this week. Long week. So I screwed up. I mentioned it to you the other day. I'll let the listeners hear. I screwed up real bad. So AT&T did not tape or did not DVR Raw for me because they had, what up, Jacob Barton? First time watching. What up, boy? AT&T didn't record Raw, so I had to wait 24 hours to watch it. Needless to say, let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about. So Raw 25, talk to me, man. What do you think? Overall.
Oh, man. Just to put it in a nutshell, I kind of wish that it was last week and not this week because it kind of really sucked for a lot of different reasons. I mean, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on it, but I felt terrible that the people in the Manhattan Center only had like one match in there. They spent like almost 3 hours in the venue with only like one or two matches in there. And they spent like $500 per seat, which is like insane for only watching like two matches. I would have been pissed. I would have been asking for my money back.
Yeah, by far. So I think they got a couple of dark matches, but that was about it. So, I mean, the highlight of it was they got DX, the NWO, sort of, and the Balor Club all in the ring at the same time. And then the Revival did the job. So, yeah, I would have been mad if I was in the Manhattan Center. Because think about it. Being in New York, they could have had... I mean, the night was about Raw, so they could have had a lot. But let's get into Raw 25. I want to start with the Undertaker promo. Thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't know what to make of it, man. I can't tell whether or not he's coming back or he's not coming back. It might just be one of those things where we wait and see at Royal Rumble what exactly is going to transpire. Everything was just short, man. I couldn't. I know that they were trying to get everybody in there, little bits of nostalgia here and there, along with some of the talent that was going in there, but it just felt really, really rushed. It felt like it was a cluster. I did enjoy the APA. Give me APA, $1 Million Man, like any day of the week, bro.
Yeah, easily. And it was a go-home show. That was the other thing. I thought, and what up, JT Akers, for the live listeners. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate it. Yeah, it was Taker's promo was vague, and I'm cool with that because it leaves that suspense that he might come back, he might not. He kind of hung up the gloves last year, so I still think he's retired, but I'm cool with him just leaving it out there because his character's not the type to come out and say, yeah, I'm retired. I'm going to take off and rest in peace or anything like that. That hair was a bit long, all considering. So,
yeah, longo hair, bro.
Yeah,
I need some of that product.
No, you just need a hoodie like that comes with the hair attached, like Kane's mask.
So is he pulling a Hogan? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, man. And
Hogan.
JT, it was nice. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice seeing Brother Love show up, and he dropped the "I love you." So I love the backstage segment. I thought the APA segment was great because it introduced the Usos. I loved Heath Slater constantly saying, "Hey man, I got kids. Come on, man, I got kids. Let me
damn about your kids."
Yeah, I love that. And then Natalia winning with the hearts. That straight flush all hearts was pretty
That's
awesome.
right.
Teddy Long, I don't know if you noticed, but Teddy Long got a huge pop. Did he not?
Bruh, was he even there?
Yeah, he appeared in I don't know if it was the backstage segment. He showed up and he got a huge pop.
I must have cut that from Hulu, man. Was that during like the first hour and a half?
I don't remember. It was in the APA segment. He showed up and did his little dance. He did the dance.
Yeah, buddy. Yo, you know what? Speaking of cuts, man, there was a lot of commercials and some like weird spots, man. Like some weird, crazy spots, man. I guess the one that was most notable was the when Scott Hall came. Scott Hall came down to the ring, and like he didn't even take like 2 steps, and they cut into a commercial break, bro.
No, that's Hulu cut.
Nah, man, I saw that live.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like he literally, his music hit. He comes out from the curtains and takes 2 steps, and then it went straight to commercial, bro. Fade to black, like he was what's his name from NXT, Aleister Black.
Jeez.
Yeah.
No,
man.
I didn't know that.
When they came back from commercial, he was in the center of the ring, just looking at the hard camera, bro.
Cut that promo. And JT Akers corrected me in the chat. He said that Teddy Long was in. Did they cut out the Kurt Angle segment where he was in his office and people kept knocking?
Yep, I didn't see none of that either, man.
Oh man, that's where Brother Love came out. And that's where they had people come in and people kept knocking on his door, and he'd say, "Oh, what do you need? Come in." And yeah, it was Teddy Long and Brother Love. Who else? I don't remember who else was in the segment, but people kept interrupting him. Information in the chat that USA did cut off that part. So yeah, they did have commercials in weird spots. What did you think of the match? The match content, the Revival suffering a loss, and Woken Matt Hardy losing fair to Bray.
Yeah, I've got no answer for the Woken piece of it, but I will say that I know that a lot of people were upset that the Revival took the pen, or took the squash. But all I'll say is, like, don't think of it as a squash. It was kind of already set up the week prior for them to do that. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they took that same bump like 2 or 3 years ago when Raw had like the 1,000th episode. I think it was actually last year when they had their 1,000th episode. They took that same exact bump.
Yeah,
but they're gonna be all right, man. Yeah, they're gonna be all right, man. Come 2018, they'll be champs. They're not going nowhere. They're
fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
So would you say then, by that logic, what you're saying is it was a specialty show, just like Tribute to the Troops and stuff like that, where if your wins and losses don't matter. It's all about just a specialty show.
Dude, it was a glorified house show. That's all it was.
Does it not matter?
I mean, to me, I don't know, man. Like I felt like they just wanted to debut them fighting in a small arena so that they can benefit from the pops, and hopefully it'll translate going months further into WrestleMania. I think that's all it was. It was more of a pop test than anything else, man.
But him losing, that was the ending of their feud.
Nah, I don't even think so, dude. I wouldn't even count it. Like, to me, I don't even count it as a part of their feud. Like, it was literally no build to it at all. There was no build, no setup for it. Like, I didn't even know it was going to happen. To me, that was like a damn dark match out of nowhere. Like, it just happened, and I was like, oh, okay. So we're having that. But, yo, shout out to the guy at the silk stockings. He had the silk stockings on USA.
The banner, yeah.
On the banner and the sign. That was pretty hot, bro.
It was good. It wasn't as good as La Femme Nikita, but it was pretty good. So
it's true, man.
I'm worried about the Matt Hardy thing. I wish if they were going to blow it off or treat it like it was nothing, I don't think they should have had Bray win. They shouldn't have had either one of them win. They should have just, especially if they're going to continue the feud, you maybe brawl into the crowd, entertain the Manhattan Center. But did Matt Hardy, who's just debuting over the past month, the Woken gimmick has his first major match and he takes a clean loss? That can't be good. Maybe, okay, I'm saying this now, but for the save to happen, the feud's got to continue. Matt's got to get some W's. Or Matt's got to be the one who eliminates, which would continue the feud, Bray out of the Royal Rumble this weekend. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I think that's where the storyline will start to pick up is in the Royal Rumble. All I'm saying is this, man. This feud can't end until we get Itchweed, until we get the Lake of Resurrection, until we get Skarsgård, until we get Vanguard, King Maxwell, Darby Sky. I'm just saying, we need it all for this thing to come to fruition. And if it all culminates at WrestleMania, I'm okay with that, just as long as we get all those pieces on the chessboard.
So what else on Raw intrigued you?
Other than that, nothing too much, man. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, man. The probably the best match of the night, which is probably the only match of the night. The Miz versus Roman Reigns, man. Wow.
I was digging it. Yeah.
Yeah, my boy The Miz taking care of business.
It was one of those ones where I thought I wanted Miz to win, especially since we're after Sunday hitting WrestleMania season. Wanted Miz to win, but it's just like back in the day betting against John Cena. You'd want the other guy to win, and they'd never win. I thought Reigns was going to win it, but a lot of outside interference, which I'm cool with, and Miz picking up the W. So it brings a lot of prestige, right, to the main to the IC title, and that's something that they've really done. The WWE has done a great job of over the past year and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Just bringing it back to not just being some title that's going to change hands 5, 6, 7, 8 times a year or whatnot, and giving people, Roman Reigns is a legit main eventer and Miz is killer on the mic. So the next guy the Miz feuds with and fights at WrestleMania, I think it's going to be awesome. And their feud could probably carry through to, what is it, No Mercy or whatever, the Elimination Chamber and all that stuff. Their feud can kind of carry over WrestleMania. And then they'll go on and fight, Miz will fight whoever at WrestleMania for the IC title, and then Reigns will fight Brock. Oops. We'll get into our predictions here in a bit.
Wrong.
Yeah, we'll get into our predictions here in a bit. But you know what I loved? And it continued on SmackDown. And I think WWE was throwing it into the face of everybody, including me and you, who talked about it last week. Asuka throwing the women over the top rope. So we talked about it, I believe, last week on if women are going to be thrown over the top or through the second rope. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you felt more along the lines of they should be thrown over the top, but chances are it'll probably just be whoever's thrown outside the ring. You all but confirmed it this week that chicks are going over the top rope. I like that. And they continued the trend on SmackDown to reinforce it, huh?
Yeah, definitely so, man. And I think that's the way to go. I mean, if you're going to push equality, you got to push it full throttle, right? It's got to be all or nothing. They got to go over the top rope, man. They got to. And you've got like Nia Jax, like she can easily throw 5 people over the top rope just by tossing them over. Natty's got a pretty mean clothesline, so that shouldn't be a problem with her. Asuka has a pretty mean clothesline. You'll see a couple of double teams from like Absolution and things like that. So I think they'll be fine. Just let us have it over the top rope. None of this handicap going through the middle rope crap that they were touting about, in the first couple of weeks of the announcement. I'm happy.
Do you think you can clothesline me over the top rope?
Man, I could powerbomb you clean over the top rope, son.
There's no way that would happen. You might be tall enough. You're taller I'd say you're taller than most wrestlers. You said you're 6'5", right?
Yeah, I'm 6'4".
Yeah, but you got to trust me to sell. I'm not going to sell. In this podcast game, Rumble, not you.
This is CWZ.
No, I'm gonna tell you in a heartbeat. I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna throw some chairs at you.
We're gonna be in the ring. Chairs ain't gonna work on me and you. You have a fro, and I've got about 6 inches of hair. I got a fro myself. It's just matted down now because it's all curly. Chair shots will do nothing on me and you. Face shots, punches, because you got a thick beard and a fro. That's just extra padding. So you know what? I wouldn't sell, and I'd pull this on you in a heartbeat. I'd be like, hey, reverse this clothesline, reverse this clothesline. I'm gonna go off the ropes, reverse this clothesline. Then I'd throw you outside and be like, oh, my bad. I miscommunicated.
Nah, man. I'm gonna try to do the Shawn Michaels, man.
It won't work. As out of shape as me and you could be right now, if I tried to do the Shawn Michaels or Dolph Ziggler where you hang onto the ropes and flip back over, my sweaty ass would just flip right over, try to hang on, hands would be all greasy from the 200 hot wings I eat a day. I'd slip off the rope, smack my head like Enzo did that one time he got concussed on the apron. I'd be knocked the hell out. The refs would be throwing up the X around like, yo, I won, but my friend is hurt. Am I supposed to be happy I won?
Oh, man.
JT Akers live in the chat. We do this every Thursday night. We're going to get to that here in a little bit on our Royal Rumble predictions. Those listening live in the chat, those listening to the podcast, hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you think, especially before Sunday, obviously, because we want to know your predictions are. We did a poll here in a bit. So Raw 25, I don't think there's much more to talk about Raw 25, is there?
Not really. I mean, there was really no movement. Like I said, it was a glorified house show. I didn't like the storylines.
The Manhattan Center. The Manhattan Center setup, like you mentioned. I thought it was cool when I first saw it. Like, oh my God, they're gonna go between two stadiums. That's awesome. They're gonna have the guys who get the good NXT arena heat in one building, but they didn't really switch back and forth, especially since they started off hot, which was awesome, with Stone Cold stunning the McMahon family. Nice little throwback.
Yeah, that segment was actually pretty awesome, man. I like that the trophy. My 25 years of work, and all you're gonna give me is a participation trophy.
Yo, that was great.
That might actually be the death of Mr. McMahon, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about that when we get to the.
Let's get in that in a little bit, into some of the news outside of the ring. So let's go on to SmackDown. This week. SmackDown was definitely an entertaining. You know what I noticed on SmackDown? I can't tell if they're saving it or if it was just like a quick. If it was just like a quick thing where there was a pop for a bit, kind of like Fandango had the Fandangoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Rusev Day isn't getting the pop that it was. Do you notice that?
I didn't see. I don't think I saw the Rusev Day match. I know the outcome, but I don't think I saw it. I think it did get cut from Hulu. But I will say this. I'm not surprised that it's dying down, considering that they're not doing anything with him. Like he's lost almost every single one of his matches, coming off the double accolade that he had at the last pay-per-view that they had in December, Night of Champions. So I mean, at this point, I mean, what are the fans are looking to? And it frustrates me too, man. Like getting on that point, this dude got himself over by himself. He's got one of the hottest shirts going right now. He's making that merch money, and you guys are still lukewarm, cooling them off, spraying them out with the hose. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't want to wait a year when nobody remembers what Rusev Day is all about. And this guy has sacrificed enough, man. Let the boy have a win.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was legit. I think it was smooth that he had his thing going on for a while. Then he backed off of it for a bit. They ain't giving him the push that he needs, that he deserves, and all that good stuff. But he got himself over. But we'll see, because after this, Usos, we'll get into this in a bit. The Usos and Benjamin and Gable feud ends. There's not really going to be any tag teams for him to feud with. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Rusev Day. So, but other than that, what else do you think of SmackDown?
I mean, I absolutely love the how AJ and or I'm sorry, how the Yup team, the Yup movement keeps sticking it to AJ with the well, you said you could beat us in one night. And that main event match was just flipping amazing. And we talked about this like literally like 2 or 3 weeks ago, one with Baron Corbin and with Sami Zayn, that if they reversed their setup moves, like the deep six, I mean the end of days to the deep six, or the haluva kick to the blue thunder bomb, that it would that would be it. That would be the finisher. That would be awesome. That would be the pop. I marked the hell out when that happened, man, because that's the setup. That's it. That's the move. That's it. Yo.
So you prefer him having the haluva kick as a setup move?
Yes. It makes sense, man. Like you're hitting him and you're disorienting him. He turns around and you hit him with the blue thunder bomb, man. It's a beautiful setup, man, for the pin. 1, 2, 3. It's a beautiful setup, man. And now Sami Zayn, and it's so great because like a year ago, we were all like, what the hell's going on with Sami Zayn? He's jobbing now that he's here on SmackDown. This is a main event guy. He could go, and now he's being showcased and rocketed to the top, and we're getting these great matches. I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's good to see him in the main event. And he's still playing that silly heel. Other than that, reports are one of the Singh brothers is out. Tore up a PCL or something like that in his elbow. He's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, he took a nasty bump, man, over the top rope.
Ugh, yeah, so he's going to be out for a while. Other than that, SmackDown was a go-home show for sure. Not a huge Royal Rumble card. I think there's only 4 matches in the 2 Royal Rumble matches. Makes sense because it's going to be 2-hour-long or more matches. So we got the decent SmackDown. I couldn't say that there was really much else that was too entertaining. So we want to talk XFL action. Major announcement. Breaking news today.
Yeah.
I didn't listen.
XFL.
I didn't listen to the full press conference, but fill me in. What am I missing? All I heard that it was announced.
Yeah, man, you didn't miss much. I mean, Vince was dodging and ducking like the important questions in terms of like the rules, the rules, how things were going to be set up, addressing protests and standing for the flag and all that other jazz, whether or not Cap and Manziel would start or Tim Tebow would start. Those were questions that were asked, and he kind of just danced around it. So the gist of it is the league is going to come out 2020. That's going to be the opening season. It's going to start out with about 8 teams. They are prospecting different cities across the country. Basically, if you have a football venue, you're going to be considered for an actual team. So hopefully, that's good news for San Antonio. We get the Alamo Dome. We've been saying it for years, man. The Vince envisions that this league will have no criminals whatsoever. So if you get cited for a DWI, if you have a misdemeanor, you're either not going to be able to get in, or you're done in the league.
Wait a minute. First off, shout out to the live chat. We got Gabe Garza, and he said he can't wait to see Johnny Football and Tim Tebow go at it. Pretty sure that's got dual meanings. Don't know what you're into, Gabe Garza, but I'll let you do your thing. So he's gonna let people, if they get in trouble legally, he's gonna have zero tolerance.
Yes,
but I wonder how hypocritical that's going to be with WWE. So did he talk about if they're going to be? I assume they're going to be completely separate this time, right? Like,
yes, they are
different
completely
rules, different. There's just different employees, all that stuff.
In terms of WWE and Altered Sports or whatever it's called, the XFL.
Yeah, they're going to be
Yeah.
completely Alpha Entertainment.
Yes, Alpha Entertainment. There you go. Yeah, they're going to be two completely distinct entities. There's not going to be any type of cross promotion. You're not going to see Corey Graves on XFL. It seems to be more the attitude around it seems it's going to be a bit more serious than the original XFL, because I remember you used to have like those crazy names and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of an entertainment gimmick.
Yeah, and someone asked him about it, and he kind of responded as if it was an afterthought. So it sounds like it's going to be a direct competition with XFL.
Direct competition with the NFL.
I mean NFL. I'm sorry. Yes, direct competition with the NFL. It will be during the off season of the NFL, so it's not going to be in direct, like head to head kind of thing, which I think is a smart thing, especially if you're going to be starting out small.
Yeah, it'd be an alternative.
Yeah, definitely an alternative. And they did ask him, you know, with his relationship with Trump, if things were going to ever get political. And you know, his response, you had to kind of read between the lines. And I don't have the actual quote, but I'll paraphrase it. You know, that his league is not going to be political. But if you're going to be playing in this league, you're going to be playing with the understanding that you will stand when the flag is.
Oh, nice, good.
Color of the flag comes out, or you know,
yeah, national anthem.
National anthem. There won't be any type of
protesting and politics in the sport
and stuff like that. Yeah, so I understand. Like, I understand where he's coming from. It's going to be interesting to see how many people, you know, are going to be okay with the morality clause that's going to be built into their contracts.
Well, he knows how to do it because he's got experience with dealing with entertainers, so he'll know how to handle it. I think starting with 8 teams is a good idea. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think Manziel, Kaepernick, or Tebow will even be relevant in 2 years. They won't be in football shape. There'll be guys that have been out of football forever. To confirm, yes, Tebow still is playing baseball. Johnny Manziel's in the Canadian Football League, and Colin Kaepernick doesn't play sports at all. He does, I assume, like kind of activist type work and community work and stuff like that. So these guys are going to be so far removed from sports and irrelevant that it's not going to matter. They'll probably pick up some third stringers, maybe guys who are past their prime. You know, in 2020, they'll pick up, you know, the wily veterans who aren't ready to hang it up and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. It's tough to say who they're going to pick up, because if you think about it, they can't pick up guys in the NFL because the NFL season's still going on in January. So they'll just have to kind of find a good, solid alternative. And I think starting small, I don't think that they should even try to sell out a, you know, 40, 50, 60,000 person stadium. I'm willing to bet they should try to go for smaller basketball stadiums, like 15,000 people, where you could, or just go for 50, maybe not a basketball stadium specifically because they're too small, but just go for like a 10 to 15,000 person crowd.
Yeah, he wasn't opposed to them playing like in a baseball stadium. Like, he wasn't opposed to. He did make a preferential, like a comment, you know, preferring that they would rather have a place that could seat an actual football.
So give me it real. XFL lasted a year last time. We got in the chat, and I got asked too. How long? Give me an answer right now. How long will the XFL, the new XFL, last? How many years?
I give it 5 years.
Tops, right?
Yeah, tops. I mean, I'm not to say that Vince won't. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and I think he's going to be taking a little bit more precaution, learning from his mistake. But Vince is kind of the, you know, I was listening to a couple other podcasts, and they kind of made up some good points here that Vince is kind of the guy he's a perfectionist. Like, deep down, he's a perfectionist. He wants to get it right. If a project fails, he doesn't just abandon and quit it. You know, he tries to make something out of it, for the exception of that black box, which we still don't know what was in that black box. But
well, he survived an exploding limo, so he's all right.
Yeah, this is true.
There's one thing you got to keep in mind here. I'm going to look it up right now. You say it's going to last 5 years, right?
Yep.
That's your prediction.
I gave it 5 years.
But he said specifically that he's still going to keep his wrestling duties, right?
I mean, he didn't really make a comment on that because that question did come up on whether or not he was going to be taking like a lesser role in creative. And I even actually myself posed that question to Sam Roberts on his podcast, and he was kind enough to respond to us that he feels that, you know, he's comfortable with that he's built a good support system that he could relax his role a bit and do both, but not heavily too involved in it. Like he can focus the majority of his attention on the XFL because this is his passion project right now. Knowing that, you know, Shane and Stephanie and Hunter are there to, you know, to take care of the mother load. So
let me bring this up.
I think it'd be all right, man.
And I think this is a fair point. You have to think XFL is supposed to start in 2 years, and then maybe it'll last 5 years. I think it'll maybe last. The last one lasted 1. I think this will last maybe 3, and just get some smaller, you know, be on ESPN or Fox, but be on, you know, early, like the big 3 in basketball. But you have to remember, Vince is also 70. That's what I was just looking up. Vince is also 72 years old.
Yep.
Something's going to start in 2 years. He'll be 74. Vince is not somebody who's going to live forever. So there's a good chance, just being honest, Vince might be dead. Like, if we're going to assume it's going to last 5 years, he might be dead in the next, that'd be 7 years. There's a very good chance he'll be 79 years old. By the time the XFL turns 5 years old, assuming no setbacks, he'll be 79 years old. So he's got a short window to set up a hell of a system for something to last. And I'm cool with him doing it because he withdrew $100 million to invest into it, which is awesome because he's 72 and he's a billionaire and his kids are set to take over his $1 billion business. Dude's got money. You better spend it because if not, it's going to someone else. So spend that money. I think personally at 70, I'm going to be retired if I'm not dead. But I hope it lasts, but I'm giving it 3 years tops because they're go big, go home. They don't want to be on, you know, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. or anything like that. So I think it'll be go big and go home. I give it, about 3 years at most, but we'll see. That's the exciting thing. So real quick, before we get into our next topic here, we're about to get into some predictions, but we had some good predictions from our fans on Twitter. We had a poll out there, and part of the poll, we told you on Twitter that we wanted to give out a special award here. We wanted to give out some props because we want to thank our Twitter followers and just everybody in general for listening to the show. So Sage, do you want to get into our winner of the contest we got here and kind of give some background around that?
Yeah, certainly. So we did run a poll today, and the poll is for the men's Royal Rumble. If you felt that SmackDown, if the winner would be from the SmackDown side of the house or the Raw side of the house. I also took the liberty to go ahead and include NXT, and Goose took the liberty to include part-timers. So the results of the poll is that 44% of the community feels that SmackDown will be the winner of the Royal Rumble, while 39% feel that it will be Raw. Interesting, 7% NXT and 10% part-timers. So that's pretty interesting. I would say that that's a pretty, in my opinion, for my predictions, I think that's going to, you'll see that I'll be swaying around that as well. So what about you, Goose? What do you think about that?
I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Solid. I'll short and sweet. So
definitely. So appreciate you guys participating. And as such, for the people that took the liberty to actually read the entire thing, if you retweeted, we were going to put you in a giveaway for one of our brand new t-shirts. So you'll have the choice of a T-shirt or some DLC for Forza, one of the Forza games. So let me go ahead and get a drum roll, please.
I deleted it.
Damn it, Goose. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. All right. So the winner is... You see that?
Nope.
I need to get some better pins, bro. Oh, man. Cody Hagan. Thank you so much. Bada boom. So we'll go ahead and contact you, Cody Hagan. Congratulations. And we'll get that all set up for you, man. T-shirt or DLC content for Forza.
Perfect. Congratulations, Cody Hagan. We appreciate you chiming in, your thoughts. We appreciate it. And shout out to Cody Hagan. Let's get into something going on Saturday night. We got a busy weekend in wrestling. We've had a busy week in wrestling. We'll talk about some other stuff that happened outside the ring here in just a bit. But let's get into NXT TakeOver predictions. The card got finalized. You and I think we're texting about it earlier this week on what the actual card was going to be. So the card got finalized this week on NXT. So we'll start from the bottom, or at least what I think is going to be the opening bout. And I'm glad, too, that Velveteen Dream got a spot on TakeOver.
His match with Johnny Gargano, damn, man. That's already a match of the year candidate, man. Jeez.
Really?
It was amazing. Yes. If you haven't seen that, you guys need to go back and watch that. Yo, Velveteen Dream is just on another level, man. He might have taken that.
0-2. That's bad.
He might have taken that L, but it don't matter if you're 0-2 in NXT, man. If you put on a solid ass match, that's all that really matters, man.
I agree. So Velveteen Dream is going to fight Cassius Ohno. I'm assuming that'll be the opening match. What are your thoughts? That's a tough one to call. Just because I said Velveteen Dream, who's awesome, is 0-2, I think he's got to take this one, right?
Yeah, he's got to win this one, man. You can't afford to go 0-3 into 2018, even though it doesn't matter. He's a star on the rise. But I do also see that they're trying to push Cassius Ohno more now than they did in the prior years, or the prior year, I should say.
Right.
So it could go either way, but I think it's pretty safe to say that Velveteen Dream is walking away with this.
No, I agree. I think I agree. I'm definitely pulling for him. I don't know what the next match will be, but Ember Moon is fighting Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler was awesome in the Mae Young Classic. And I'm actually gonna take her to win the title.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. Her promo skills are not there. Yeah, I do enjoy her wrestling, but I also fear that she might hurt somebody. Not purposely, but just kind of from an adrenaline kind of perspective. Yeah. So I think that if you give her the title, that'll give her an opportunity to be off the camera to work on her skills. Like, she wouldn't be obligated to be fighting.
So you've got her winning the title this weekend.
I definitely got her winning the title this weekend.
So the question is, this is my thoughts, is that she wins the title this weekend, and I think it'd be awesome, and she defends it at the WrestleMania weekend takeover against Kairi Sane in a rematch of the women's finals in the Mae Young Classic.
Yep, I was thinking the same exact thing.
And then Ember will be in the Women's Royal Rumble. Not win, but she'll be in it. And then maybe she'll go back to NXT. Who knows? Because that's what Ty Dillinger did last year.
Yeah, but she doesn't belong there, man. She's kind of like Nakamura in a sense that, like, you were there just to kind of make sure that the women's division is okay. Now that it's okay, we're going to go ahead and call you up. I don't think Ember Moon needs to stay any longer.
Well, she can. She could just temporarily. She'll obviously be in the main roster in 2018, but she could lose, do a quick Royal Rumble appearance, then go back to NXT and get her rematch against Shayna Baszler at, whatever NXT like Wednesday night
Brooklyn
show
or something.
Yeah, and then just be in a NXT weekend match and then get called up to the main roster after after WrestleMania. So they've got time with her. She'll be fine. That's what I think. And maybe she will be a surprise entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble. Maybe she'll win it. Who knows? But you will get to that in a minute.
Yep.
So I think it'll be a good match, but I just have Shayna Baszler winning. But it'll be a good one. And she may even get that choke out of nowhere. Undisputed Era, a.k.a. Red Dragons fighting guys that I forgot were around, who I'm a fan of, the Authors of Pain. I call them the twins, Rick and AJ, because they remind me of two friends of mine. The Authors of Pain, Common Rezar. Talk to me on this one. This one's tough.
I don't think it's tough, man. AOP's job is losing on this one here, man. They're just wasting time waiting for a call up, man. They'll be called up by WrestleMania for sure. They'll be called up, man. But Undisputed is not dropping the title not until Adam Cole gets the belt. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.
Solid. Aleister Black and Adam Cole. I think that might be the match before the main event.
Yes. No.
So you don't have two back-to-back title matches.
Yes, you're right. Definitely it'll be a filler match. Sanity's not fighting, and Nikki Cross.
They are not.
Jeez, it's the first time Nikki Cross hasn't fought since
in a while, yeah.
Yeah, jeez. Man, I thought they were shotgunning Aleister Black, but I think he might be feuding with. I think he might feud with Aleister Black for a couple more programs. So I'm gonna take Adam Cole for the win, hook or by crook. It's a no disqualification match, so it'll favor Adam Cole anyways.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It is a no DQ. Yeah, I've got Adam. See, I don't know if they want Aleister Black losing quite yet.
He's already lost.
No, he's lost not in a one-on-one match. He lost in like a triple threat or something like that.
No, he lost a one-on-one match against Johnny Gargano, bro.
What, for the title shot?
Yeah.
No, Johnny Gargano beat Velveteen Dream for the title shot.
No, that was the second one. That was he beat Aleister Black because of the interference that Adam Cole did.
Oh, Aleister Black was in the little tournament thing they had.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't watch NXT. I'm just going off what was pretty much just said a couple minutes ago. Okay, so I've got, I guess Adam Cole winning this one and him moving on.
Yeah.
Main event, Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega, who's fine, by the way, versus Johnny Gargano.
Damn, I shouldn't have said that so loud. She's a great manager.
Yeah, she is. All 5 foot of her. I have Almas winning this one.
Yeah, man.
It's not a food champion.
So I have no spoilers, no inside.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. Psycho Killer's coming back, bruh.
Yep. I should have said
they've been so quiet.
Instead of picking a winner, just go ahead and tell me who's going to interfere in this match and make Almas win. Yes. That's the way I should have said it.
That's it, man. Psycho Killer's coming back, bruh. And we finally getting that dream match that we want to see. Yeah,
for sure. It's going to be Gargano versus Ciampa at the WrestleMania Takeover. For sure.
Yeah, that's it. That's the match, man. That's the only match I want to see. I don't really care about the NXT title is great where it is right now. I think that you just keep it warm until Drew McIntyre gets back. And then that way Cien can take it from him.
Is he injured?
Yeah, man. He got injured during their match at War Games.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think he should be okay by Brooklyn. So let him hold the belt till Brooklyn and stuff, and let everybody else just kind of come up to their level.
Gotcha. Now the big one. Prediction time. Royal Rumble. This one should be pretty easy. Royal Rumble predictions. So we have 2 tag title matches, 2 heavyweight title matches, and 2 Royal Rumble matches. It's pretty easy to call. However, it's kind of crazy, I think, that there's no singles matches, 1 versus 1. So I guess they're just going with the group approach on everything. So Let's go into the. Okay, I want you to tell me who's going to win and what the score is going to be. The Usos, Gable, and Benjamin. 2 out of 3 falls. Who wins and what's the score?
Call me crazy, but I think Chad and Gable are going to win clean sweep.
Benjamin and Gable, yeah. Really? 2-0. Does this have anything to do with Jey Uso's DUI or no?
No, man. I still stand by that. I think that it was their time to pass on the titles anyways. Like Chad Gable deserves to have the damn belt, bro. He deserved to carry the belt in the feud while he was American Alpha until they arbitrarily took it away from him for whatever reason. But I think it's their time to do it. The Usos don't really need a championship belt. Like they can, and plus if you bring up the Authors of Pain, it'll give them an opportunity to feud against them. Yeah, I think that you can create more storylines if you give the belts off to somebody else who hasn't had a run with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think with them going with a 2 out of 3 falls match, it is kind of the end of the feud, maybe with the exception of like a SmackDown rematch next week or something like that. But it just, yeah, the Usos had a hell of a 2017. And I just don't know if they beat Gable and Jordan, then the division's cleared out. They've beaten, with the exception of Rusev Day, maybe. They've just beaten everybody, and Gable twice because they beat Gable and Jordan. So, all right, so you're going to go with Gable and Benjamin on the sweep.
Yes.
So I'm going to go against the grain and go with the Usos winning 2-1. I'm picking 2-1 mainly because it's rare that 2 out of 3 falls are ever 2-0 sweeps.
Yep, I agree.
But that makes it all the more awesome that you think it could be a sweep. It'll be something completely shocking and different.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the Usos. This one's tough, but just because it'll help solidify how great the tag team titles are when you have somebody who's been the champion for over a year, off and on, but they've been predominantly champions for over a year. And then on the other side, on the Raw side, the red side, War versus Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins. I've got Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins winning this one.
Yeah.
I think the Bar had their run. They'll probably stick it out as a tag team for a while, but those two guys at the core are still singles wrestlers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that you wait for the Revival to take the belts off of them, and you wait until closer to when Ambrose is to return to kind of finish their storyline. Because now it seems like it was Jason Jordan and the Shield, and now it's kind of transformed into Jason Jordan and against Seth Rollins. Like they're planting the seeds for that.
You mentioned wait for Ambrose to come back. Bro, you know he's not coming back till like August.
Yeah,
September,
I know.
like late summer.
Yeah, well,
so you don't think you don't think we're gonna get a Jason Jordan Seth Rollins feud at some point between now and August?
I don't know, Matt.
Or are you thinking that because you think we'll get a Jason Jordan Kurt Angle feud first? Because there's a lot of ways Jason Jordan could go. He's becoming a heel, big time heel now.
Yeah, but you can't. Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know if you could put a Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle feud down before WrestleMania, because we still have unfinished business with Kurt Angle and Triple H that just is never. Yeah,
you took a pedigree Survivor Series and that was nothing, right?
Exactly. And
now you're cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of some weird nuances going on right now, man. I don't know where they're going with it. I think you have Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins hold the belts until WrestleMania. For some reason I had thought that Dean Ambrose was coming back right after WrestleMania, but before SummerSlam. But I could be wrong.
He's out. Well, wrestling storyline wise, they said that he's going to be out about 8 to 9 months.
Gotcha.
9 months was the official, so that puts him right at. He may even miss SummerSlam.
Okay.
But this is wrestling we're talking about, so it could be 3 weeks. So, yeah, I don't know if they're going to hold on to the titles. I don't really know much about the Raw tag division, like what the Raw Tag Team Championship's going to be like at WrestleMania, because it's pretty much just as far as I know, right now that the Hardys are out of the picture, it's just the Bar and
the
Seth Rollins,
Revival, Seth Rollins. Yeah, it's not really deep right now, man.
No, not at all.
I mean, it could change after after Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it could. Some call-ups, a couple trades. I think a couple things could happen.
NXT's a little heavy on the tag team division, and they can afford to drop 1 or 2 people or 1 or 2 teams.
They could. What else? The heavyweight championship. Do you want to go the Raw championship first or the SmackDown championship?
Let's go with the Raw one, man. Yeah, let's go with the Raw one.
Well, Brock Lesnar's winning. You want to move on?
Yep.
All right. On to the next.
Well, dude, now there you have it.
So, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match is super interesting because I don't think
it is.
That WWE would go with the New Day approach, the Freebirds rule, and have co-champions as one. But
I think that's where the money is, man.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think it could be. If AJ loses, it's a protected loss because he lost 2-on-1 to 2 top guys. What'd you say?
Yep.
So he loses to 2 top guys, and then you have the chase, you have the hunt, and it'll just create some really entertaining TV with those 2 guys as champion and how annoying Sami Zayn is.
I love it.
However, another thing that makes it nice is that if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens hadn't feuded before, and one was a heel, one was a face or whatnot, or they just never feuded before and they were a team, then you would think, oh, all right, Kevin Owens is going to accidentally hit Sami Zayn, knock him out, then they'll feud or whatever. But that's already happened, so that can't happen again.
Yep.
So I think that it could go. To be honest with you, I don't creatively. I'm not a creative writer of wrestling storylines, but I don't see how AJ can win. And if he does win, fair, clean, it's going to be a thrilling ending. And I think that you're just going to be like, damn, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be the match of the night, man. Like hands down, it's gonna be the match of the night. I will mark the hell out if they use a combination to beat AJ Styles, like the Haluva kick into the pop-up power bomb. Yo, I would mark the hell out for that, son.
Yo, what if AJ takes the Haluva kick into the pop-up power bomb and he kicks out?
Damn. Yeah, that would be GOAT status, bro. Like double GOAT status. Yep.
Dude, if he kicks out of that, if he takes the Haluva kick, especially after this week, they made, like you said earlier, they made the Haluva kick look more like a setup move.
Yeah.
If he takes a Haluva kick into the pop-up powerbomb, especially after they cheat a little bit or something like that, I'm just going to be like, oh, man, this guy's too good. This guy, damn.
Bodie down did it again. Bodie down did it again. If I lose my mind. Oh, my God.
So you definitely got. Do you have AJ Styles winning this one?
Nah, man. I've got Cammy winning this one, man. It just feels right, man. I think that you would create a bit more story. Because like if he beats them too, then what else is there for AJ? Like AJ's got to chase, and again, we have no pay-per-view for SmackDown
for a long time. Almost 2 months.
So yeah, I think that you continue the Cammy storyline until they break up, which will ultimately be at WrestleMania, maybe for the title.
Well, it depends. What if they do a thing where it's a multi-man match, and it's AJ Styles versus Cammy versus Randy Orton versus like a 4-man. So that way Cammy doesn't have to get pinned to lose the title, and that kind of protects them, and they, can go back into doing their separate thing, and maybe Cammy wins Money in the Bank or something like that later on. A lot of things could happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cammy too. So let's get into the women's Royal Rumble. We're not trying to say there's any subordinates here, but I don't think it's going to main event the show. No disrespect. I think it's great that they're having a women's battle royal, and like I said earlier, we confirmed they're going to throw people over the top. So give me your final two and the winner.
Final two and the winner. Asuka is my winner, so she's definitely going to be there. And yeah,
interesting.
I would have Becky Lynch. Honestly, smart play would be to have Becky win. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Becky. I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch, bro.
You're gonna go with the shock value. I like that, and it's SmackDown's tough because every one of the girls has fought Charlotte just about, right, within the past year.
Yes. The only one that has not fought Charlotte is Becky Lynch, and that's a pay-per-view. I mean, that's a WrestleMania match.
They didn't fight back in the Raw days.
No, because they split. When she got called up to the roster, she got called up straight from NXT. Yeah. Because she was the last to. Well, her and Bayley. Well, she came up, but then they split. Yeah, because they were in that faction.
Champion.
Yeah, they were in that faction, and then they got drafted, and yeah, they never fought. So,
wow, yeah, okay, that's a good one. So you're saying Asuka and Becky Lynch will be last?
Yes, I'm proposing that Asuka and Becky Lynch will be last, and it's probably not going to be Asuka, man.
Well, Asuka can get eliminated and still be protected.
Yeah, I think Asuka will be eliminated early. You know what?
Nia Jax.
Yeah. It'll be Nia Jax and Becky, and then not Nia Jax, but Becky goes over. Although I would love to see Nia Jax, but they're never gonna do it. So
yeah, we have to give up on that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. Okay, you want to go? If you're gonna go with the shock value, and you're gonna go with the surprise, and you're gonna say it's Becky Lynch eliminating Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say I'm picking Asuka to win. And she is going to eliminate Ember Moon. I think I say that because I think Asuka is going to win, so she has to be in the final two.
Yeah.
And I think Asuka, with the exception of Charlotte, is so light years ahead, storyline-wise, than anybody on the SmackDown roster, that if it's Asuka and anybody on the SmackDown roster, it's going to be blaringly obvious to me, like, oh, okay, Asuka's going to win this. Because would you really believe maybe Naomi? But would you really believe Mandy Rose or who's in the Riot Squad? Like Ruby Riott?
Ruby Riott could probably get away with it. I don't know. Maybe I just don't want Absolution to be anywhere near the title picture right now. I just
yeah. So I'll go with Asuka and Ember Moon. So if Ember Moon wins the title, then I'm fucked. My decision's pretty much screwed.
Dude,
it's not gonna happen.
Dude, you're screwed if she loses the belt on Saturday, bro. Because you know she's gonna get in that ring, bro.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Now let's get into the men's because we still have one other major topic to talk about this week.
Yeah, buddy.
We're hitting that hour mark. Do you want me to go first on this one?
Yeah, I went first, man. You go
All right.
first.
Go ahead, everybody, and go listen in our archives to a show we did a little bit before Survivor Series. And I said it's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura and Roman Reigns as the final two. And Nakamura is going to get the win. And he's going to go on, and I don't know how he'll get the title back, but he'll get it and fight AJ Styles at WrestleMania for the title. That's what I said a few shows back. And then talking to Dabi Amore this week, went and had some sushi, had some lunch. I was thinking, what if they don't do AJ Styles versus Nakamura for the title at WrestleMania? What if it's for, because they've never done this at WrestleMania. What if they do, I would be a fan if they did this on pay-per-views. What if they said it's Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the #1 contendership for the heavyweight, the SmackDown Championship? So that way, because I feel like those two guys, if they had a match, there's no need for a title to be on the line. You're going to have a great match regardless. Would you agree?
Yes and no. For fans like us that know what they can do, I think that you're absolutely right. They don't need the title to go. The problem is that they're catering.
We're in the minority.
We're in the minority. Unfortunately, we're in the minority, and Shinsuke's still not completely over with the crowd.
That's a great point.
So there's no way to shotgun that than to put the title on the line where it's a little bit more interesting, because to the casual fan, the belt matters. You know?
Okay, and that's a great point. I think, yeah, you bring up a great point. So I'm banking on it. I've got Shinsuke Nakamura winning, and I think he's going to eliminate Roman Reigns only because I think if the crowd, especially after me and you were at Royal Rumble last year, if the crowd sees Roman Reigns in the final two, especially since, would you say 80% of the fans think Reigns is going to fight Brock?
Yes.
At WrestleMania, I think that most people would think Reigns is going to win.
Okay.
So I'll go with Reigns getting thrown over by Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura as to win.
Okay.
But it's tough because you said he's not that over, and his pop isn't that big anymore. Mike skills aren't there. So you're bringing up great points. You almost made me change my mind.
Yeah. So I'm with you that I think that a SmackDown person is going to win the Money in the Bank. Not the Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble. The reason why I say this is we got the Elimination Chamber next month, which is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. And we all know that either the belt is in the cage, or they're going to fight for a #1 contender spot. Brock is not advertised to be there. So for me, that kind of puts SmackDown out. Like, why would you let Raw out? Like, why would you let Raw win if they're going to have something with the title in the Elimination Chamber? So
I agree.
With that being said, final four in the Royal Rumble, the 2018 Royal Rumble, is Mike Mizanin. Is that his name? First name Mike, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Roman Reigns. And Daniel Bryan. Those are my final four, bro. No,
gotta get off.
It's going down, son. It's now or never. It's now or never. On Raw 25, we saw Miz Mizanin. We saw Daniel Bryan look at each other like they had to eat, like it was talking smack all over again. Yo, it's getting done, son. We getting Daniel Bryan versus the Miz at WrestleMania. Let's go.
It will never happen. I agree that it's do or die because Daniel Bryan's contract's coming up. So I agree it's do or die, but it won't happen. And I can't see it happening. But one thing to think about.
Those words, son. You're gonna eat those words. My boy Daniel Bryan is gonna be in the Royal Rumble. I know it. I just feel it in my bones.
So Vegas odds, believe it or not, I think I told you this the other week. I'm not sure if I did.
I don't think
Vegas odds had Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble 50-1. Meaning you got to bet $1 to win $50, which is bad. Those are very, 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 very bad odds. That means bet $1 to win 50 down to, I think, 13-2. So that means Vegas is thinking he may make an appearance to win. But you have to remember, if Cammy wins, AJ Styles could be in the Royal Rumble. He might win it on the SmackDown side.
This is true, man.
I doubt he will, coming off a title loss. But Roman Reigns didn't he lose? He had 2 matches last year because he came in at number 30.
Yeah,
and won the Royal Rumble.
He didn't win it. He lost.
Who won it last year? Randy Orton, right?
Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Who gave, by the way, that awesome
that was a great RKO, wasn't it?
RKO out of nowhere to Shinsuke Nakamura. That was amazing, bro. I don't know, man. I got Shinsuke to win it as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if I really, really, really want Miz to win, bro. Like, I don't know. I want Miz to win it, so he fights Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the title. Brock drops it at Elimination Chamber, even though he's not going to be there. That's how I would want it to be booked, but it's not going to be booked that way. I got Shinsuke going over.
All right, so you're ultimately going to pick Shinsuke winning the whole thing? As much as you would love Daniel Bryan to win it.
Daniel Bryan or Miz, man. Like, those are my 2 guys that I really, really want to win. So when we're at that WrestleMania party and I pick those numbers and they come out, I'm going to be excited because those are my boys. All
right. We've gotten into our predictions today. Now let's talk about something that happened that was outside the ring, and we'll keep it quick. So Enzo Amore got busted this week and got fired off of a Twitter post that was displayed out there that claimed allegations of sexual assault. My understanding, Sage the Mark, is that he was let go because he didn't disclose that information to the WWE. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That there was an investigation?
He was suspended for the allegations, and that was just a good measure. But once he had advised them that, hey, he knew that the investigation was going on since October, he failed to disclose it. He violated his morality clause, and that's gave them credence to terminate him. Well, technically, they just came to mutual terms. So they're basically going to pay out his contract, and then just kind of separate from himself. So, but he didn't get any future endeavors or anything like that. But
no, he's fired. He's gone. He didn't have a job. You're not getting paid when you get fired.
No, he's getting paid, bro. He's getting paid.
You sure he's getting paid? Where was this from?
So
Twitter's.
Yeah, so when you come to terms, that usually means that you have come to some type of severance agreement.
You're not saying he's getting paid for the next 2 or 5 years of whatever his contract was left. He probably just got like a severance.
I think I don't know. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. So in terms of getting paid out for his contract.
Well, the money's going to go to that lawyer now.
You ain't ever lie, homie.
Yeah, his money's going to go to that lawyer now. So what are your thoughts on the whole thing, man? That girl has put some Twitter posts out there and YouTube videos, and then there's been rebuttals to her YouTube videos from apparently one of her friends.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
All right. So first and foremost, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm not in a position. I don't think any of us should ever be in the position of taking sides when we don't know. We don't know what's going on, what actually happened, someone. Like, we weren't there. We don't have all the facts. We shouldn't be quick to judge somebody by the character based off of some information that we were able to scrum off the internet, So, and with that, I mean, it goes both ways to both the accuser and the, what do you call them, the accusee. I can't take sides. Either way, I just hope that this gets investigated properly. Because either way, someone's gonna get it. right? You're either going to get it because you filed a false police report, or you're lying, or someone's going to be in trouble for actually taking advantage of someone when they were vulnerable. So
they had sex, right? For sure. That's confirmed.
I don't know if it's confirmed, but we're all like in the boat, 99% sure that did happen. I don't think that was ever disputed. I think the thing that was disputed was the fact that
the consensual
she alleges he said no, and I think that's what's in question right now.
Okay, here's my 2 cents. Enzo, first off, you chose the worst crew of people to hang out with that weekend.
Agreed.
You are a man that's on TV. You have a lot going for you. Could have swore I heard that you had a champ sponsorship or some type of shoe deal or something going on. You have a lot going for you, and you're hanging out with people who post YouTube videos about things that are going on, them doing drugs and faking pregnancies and stuff like that. And you could say, well, Goose, this person's got issues that require some medicine and stuff, so you shouldn't really give your opinion. But yeah, I can, because this person also puts on their Twitter feed naked pictures of themselves saying $40 for a snap. DM me for snaps. So I'm just gonna say, you being on TV in general, no knock on this girl, she's doing her thing, but if you're on TV, I'm gonna use an insurance term, you got to underwrite who you hang out with. If you're on TV, NBA, football, WWE, if you hang around with people who do drugs, you are the one who ultimately gets in 10 times more trouble than they do. So based off what she was saying, Enzo went and hung out with her 2 friends and her. And she did a bunch of drugs, passed out. And he, did his thing to her, and she said no. So in general, if you're hanging out with people, if that's true about the drugs part, if you're in the WWE and you're hanging out with a bunch of people doing hard drugs, that's bad company. No knock on those people. They could do whatever they want. But ultimately, if something happens and bad press gets out, those people might not get arrested. But if Vince McMahon, Triple H, and them find out, wait, you're hanging out with people that are doing drugs all day? And your only thing is, well, I passed drug test, I ain't doing it. I guarantee you're taking a loss on Raw next week. You become a product of the company you hang out with. Sage, I hang out with you because you're a good family man. You're a friend. You like wrestling. You're smart. You got ambitions. You think I would talk to you or do a podcast with you if you were talking about doing drugs all day? And every week you said, man, I'm gonna get messed up before this podcast? No. So it sticks with you. You're a product of the people you hang out with. So I'm not going to pass judgment because I don't know the whole story on what's right, what's wrong. I believe maybe Enzo hung out with him because one of the guys posted a video. I did some investigative work. It didn't take too long. But one of the guys who apparently introduced Enzo and this girl has a video up on his Twitter profile with him, Enzo, and Post Malone. So, hey, maybe if Enzo's using it as like a networking opportunity and hanging out with Post Malone's one of the biggest rappers in the world right now. Okay, maybe I could see that. He just got mixed up with the wrong people, but you got to know who you're hanging out with, right?
I mean, absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the hammer, man. You put yourself in that type of situation. You've got to, like, this is your livelihood, and I guess you have one thing going for you, like you don't have any responsibilities in terms of like kids or anything like that. But had you been in that situation where you have kids or you had someone that you have to take care of, and you're making these crazy decisions like this, because this used to go on, not saying the rape thing, but this type of behavior used to be pretty big growing up in the 80s and the 90s in wrestling, and a lot of those wrestlers aren't even here today. You know what I mean? You should be learning from those people, from those types of stories, man. You've got a good thing coming for you, and you're wasting it away with people that don't have your best interest in mind. Like that's not a good thing, man. I mean, you already have a bad reputation, and I don't know if you were turning it around after that period of time or not, but that people don't have, unless you're really, really close with them, most of those people are just there to ride your coattails,
Yeah,
you've got to
absolutely.
be smarter than that.
Him and
You
Post
really
Malone's
do.
coattails. They're and you hear about it all the time with rappers that hang out with people with guns. Stuff pops off, and you're the rapper that was there. They don't care about the Sage, the Mark, or the Ben Goosen hanging out at the club with guns. So if you let's just give a message out there to people. There's a lot of things we could say about the Enzo case, but at the end of the day, Sage, the Mark, and I think that you need a little advice.
Yeah, you do.
You need some advice on how the game is played, fellas. We want to teach y'all a little something. You want to introduce this next segment, Sage and Mark?
Yes. It's like Goose says, you guys need to understand something. You guys need to understand how to, what? We're going to teach you how to date. That's what we're going to do. We're going to teach you how to date. So we got a little segment called Dating Tips by IRWP. And if you guys are listening on the audio podcast, I venture to say you guys go on YouTube. We about at the 1 minute or 1 hour and 5 minute mark or so. Just fast forward to this section so you guys can get the full effect of what's going on here. So by IRWP. Tip number 1.
Keep it contractual, y'all. Keep it contractual. You gotta chill. Just chill.
Gotta know what's going on, man. You know what you're signing up for at all times. Fellas, make sure you check them IDs. Check them IDs. Make sure
you're in a rush.
It's legal. Yeah, make sure he's in a rush. Make sure you guys understand that dinner is dinner and after is after. And make sure you get it in writing.
It's that simple. And if you're nervous about asking, you hear the music in the background. It's reggae. It's chill music.
Straight from the Caspian Sea.
If you need to bring it in and say, hey, girl, you're looking mighty fine tonight. You want to go hop in the bed with me? Put on this music in the background. Simply just say, hey, wait a minute. This is consensual, right? No? All right. Bye. Simple as that. Or, hey, wait a minute, girl. If she says no the first time, all right. Hey, listen to this music. Let's relax. Let's relax a little. Let me ask again. You want to go hang out in my bedroom? Well, yeah, now that this music's relaxed me. You don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to let that man nature go out there. Nah, just ease into it. The game is soft. The game is like a kitten. You don't go picking up a kitten all rough. No, not at all. What else we got, Sage?
You said consensual. I put contractual, man.
Yeah, it's the same.
Pull out that paper, son.
Yeah, consensual contracts.
Your voice. Tip number 2. Man, these slides, bro.
This is great.
He or she says no, get out. This is also known as the stop, drop, and roll the funk out.
You get up, out. Get up, out as soon as you can. If they say no, you need to get the hell up out the picture.
That's right. Jump that ship. Run for the border.
It could only go south from there. Trust me, it could only go south from there. The minute she says no, you need to get up, get out, and just leave. Because if you keep going forward, pushing with it, it's not going to go anywhere. You keep going, it goes forward, you end up locked up. And then what ends up happening is you go to some backwoods jail, and it ends up real bad. And you end up being somebody's bitch. You end up somebody big dude named Bubba. Country Bubba. You end up being his bitch. All because you did not listen to this podcast and say no.
The country
As simple as that.
on the rise,
Say no.
wheels on the side.
You don't want to be some big dude's bitch. Do you really want to be sharing a toilet? Do you really want somebody to tell you, yo, you can't take a shit right now because it stinks. I'm trying to sleep. No, you don't want that. Especially from big country boy Bubba. Trust me, you don't want that. What else we got to say?
The big red heels. Keep a big fat heel. But in all serious, guys and gals, because it can happen to you too, fellas. Tip number 3. No means no. If he or she says no, like literally, just stop. Just stop. Don't pull out your thing. Don't say, I got 1 million followers. You should be begging for this D. No, none of that, man. Because when you do that, you become part of the problem itself. Like, I don't know where this generation, or where our generation, I should say, went wrong. Like, we disrespect each other like all the time, but yet get surprised when allegations are raised against us, you know, or we get drunk and we don't know what we're doing and we think that that's a defense for doing whatever it is we want. Be responsible for your own actions, period. Be responsible for your own actions. And if you don't get it, y'all need to go and watch The Little Mermaid. That's all I got to say about that.
That's what I'm saying. So those were our hot tips, our hot takes on dating life and how to be successful in the dating world. At least be successful in the not getting into trouble and going to jail world. It's as simple as that. What do you say we get into some shout outs this week? We got a lot to give this week. A lot of activity this week.
You got the you got the shout out song, man? You got the shout out song? You got the music?
Oh yeah. And in honor of the IRWP dating tips, I need you to put that Barry White R&B voice on while you give these shout outs here, because you got to seduce things. When we talk about no means no, consensual, everything like that, you got to seduce the game. You got to be good at what you do.
You know what, baby? You're absolutely right. When you come up in the hills, there's only one thing that matters. It's that magic, that chemistry between you and me. And with that being said, I'm going to go into these shout outs because you deserve it, baby. You deserve it. You're here every week giving us shout outs, liking, retweeting, all that nastiness. Nasty, but sweet, baby. So without further ado, I present to you It's Real Wrestling Podcasts. I'm fucking this up.
Keep it rolling, baby.
Keep it rolling.
Just keep it rolling.
First and foremost, we want to thank the podcast, Nate the Effing Great. Y'all can check him out at Real FN Great on Twitter. Taylor Marie, congratulations on your 2,000 follower subscription, and thank you so much for following your boys at It's Real Wrestling Podcast. AJ Styles is phenomenal, and seeing NJP 27 days, thank you so much for taking the time to like our post and giving us the too sweet. Erica, you're always on point with your retweets on SmackDown Live. That's why we love you, girl. And the visual marketing, I know that you only want to be with us because we're hot and up and coming. But you know what? Every once in a while, you can slide into those DMs. Just know, we don't pay for play. The Raging Cajun, you always on point, my brother. Keep it real. Fist pump in the air. Get the tables. Enough said. Now I'm going to go over these really quickly. I'm going to use my Chickmunk voice just for you. The future of the biz, Eric and Sutherland, Dave Fine, J Millions, Eve. Yes, there you go. And last but not least, the alter ego. Thank you so much for continuing to support us by retweeting. And thank you for all the contestants in the last 12 hours that have participated in our poll. We'll have a lot more contests coming up. And I'll need to get a script for this going forward.
Damn
Goose,
right.
Back to you.
Hey, what up, everybody? This is your boy Ben Goose, and back at you with the Jack Alpha Hour. This is Mr. Easy Goose. We just want to tell you guys, keep it sexy, keep it lovely, and at the end of the day, go ahead, y'all, and keep it real.
No.
Oh yeah, baby. This is your boy Ben Goosen coming at you. Just want you to know that the opinions, especially this week, girl, the opinions are that of the host and not of the IRWP, baby. Go ahead and visit us on Twitter to find our handles. Go to irwp.us. Oh yeah, baby. Go and look us up. Hit us up in the DMs. We'd love to hear from you. You wrestling fans, bring those fine asses on to our podcast as special guests. Again, that's irwp.us. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear from you, baby. At the end of the day, keep it smooth, keep it classy, and keep it real.